Imagine the gaming world, filled with excitement, eagerly anticipating the release of a game promising revolutionary features and pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The hype reaches a fever pitch as players eagerly pre order and count down the days. However, as the release date finally arrives, the game falls flat, plagued by technical issues, mismanagement, or an overly ambitious vision. This is the tale of one of the gaming industry's most ambitious failures, a cautionary tale of dreams shattered and lessons learned. Welcome to this video, where we embark on an in-depth exploration of the gaming industry's most ambitious failures. Our focus lies in uncovering the stories behind some of the gaming world's most highly anticipated projects that ultimately met their demise. From iconic titles like Halo Infinite, Modern Warfare 2, Battlefield 2042, and how Fortnite helps shape most of modern AAA titles, we delve into the rise and fall of these ambitious ventures. The gaming industry is constantly evolving, driven by innovation and creativity. However, alongside their successes, there are also the inevitable failures that shape the path forward. By learning from the mistakes and missteps of the past, we pave the way for future projects to thrive, fostering an environment of growth and innovation. In the dynamic world of gaming, an ambitious failure can be characterized as a high-profile game project that possesses great aspirations, aiming to revolutionize the gaming landscape with innovative concepts, groundbreaking technology, or vast scope. These ventures are often driven by a strong vision, seeking to push the boundaries of what is achievable within the gaming medium. However, despite the initial excitement and anticipation they generate, these projects ultimately fall short of meeting the expectations set by their ambitious promises, resulting in disappointing outcomes and negative repercussions for both the developers and the gaming community. Ambitious failures can manifest in various ways, including technical inadequacies that hinder gameplay experience, financial mismanagement leading to budget overruns, insufficient quality assurance, lack of focus on core gameplay mechanics, and misjudgments regarding market demand. It is crucial to distinguish between failures due to lack of ambition and those caused by overly ambitious visions that stretch beyond practical realization. The games that we'll be talking about will be based on a set criteria that encapsulates the spirit of ambition within the gaming industry. The following factors will be considered to determine the scope of the research. These are games that have demonstrated significant scale and ambition in terms of gameplay features like some technological innovation. These projects are going to be typically characterized by their attempt to redefine genres or introduce groundbreaking mechanics. These are games that obviously have generated substantial pre-release excitement with some extensive marketing campaigns, large communities, and high pre-order numbers. We're going to talk about the contrast between the initial hype and the final reception of the game. These are beloved games that have been a sequel for years or even decades, games that were developed by renowned studios or had some significant financial backing, because their failure can have broader implications for the gaming industry. These are projects that have a notable impact on the industry, whether through their innovative ideas or by influencing subsequent game development. Through this selective approach, we can shed light on the challenges faced by developers when pursuing ambitious projects and extract valuable insights to inform future game development practices. Throughout the history of gaming, there have been notable examples of ambitious projects that have managed to succeed and leave a lasting impact on the industry. Games like The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, Minecraft, Elden Ring, The Witcher 3, not only fulfilled their ambitious promises, but also contributed positively to the evolution of gaming as a whole. Upon release, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom received overwhelmingly positive reactions from both players and critics. Many praised the game for its ambitious approach, acknowledging that it successfully built upon the foundation set by Breath of the Wild. The sequels expanded on enemy variety. We got dungeons back, not that it was a bad thing on Breath of the Wild with the Divine Beasts, but it's just nice to have it back. And we got introduced to new systems like vehicle building and weapon crafting, and yeah. New and old Zelda players were impressed by the game's exploration aspect, which was further enhanced in Tears of the Kingdom. We just had one map, and now we have two and a half. And the freedom to pursue multiple main quests, and the storytelling, and the cutscenes at specific spots on the map, all of it added depth and immersion to the game. The crafting system. A prominent feature in Tears of the Kingdom, it was met with enthusiasm, as it should. Players just found it to be intuitive, allowing for creative and humorous gameplay experiences. The ability to attach all of the items of your inventory to weapons and vehicles. You can attach a mushroom to sword and just go boing at enemies, It just opened up unique traversal puzzles, and it rewarded you with so much experimentation and creativity. Overall, the ambitious nature of Tears of the Kingdom, combined with the successful execution of new ideas and improvements, just resulted in a game that was widely regarded as bigger, richer, and more satisfying than its predecessor. Created in 2011 by Notch. Minecraft introduced players to a seemingly endless generated sandbox world. This ambitious concept encouraged creativity and community engagement, leading to a cultural phenomenon that has endured over a decade. Despite these successes, the gaming industry has witnessed numerous high-profile, ambitious projects that have faltered under the weight of their own ambitions, leaving developers and players disappointed. One of these games is No Man's Sky, which promised an infinite universe with almost infinite planets to explore. But its initial release in 2016 was plagued with technical issues and lacked many of the promised features. The fallout from the disappointment was immense, leading to substantial criticism and a loss of player trust. Which leads us to Anthem. Anthem aimed to be a dynamic co-op action RPG set in a visually stunning world. However, the game's development struggles, coupled with an unclear design direction and a lack of engaging content, led to a decline in player interest and ultimately the discontinuation of planned updates. While we're on the topic of disappointment, we have to reach deep inside the belly of the mother of disappointments. Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk was highly anticipated for about a decade, promising a futuristic open-world RPG experience. However, its launch in 2020 was bashed by numerous technical issues, especially on last-gen consoles, resulting in many refund requests, legal actions, and a significant dent in the studio's reputation. In the vast expanse of the gaming universe, few franchises hold as much legacy and adoration as Halo. Yet, after the mixed reception of Halo 4 and Halo 5, the fate of the next installment, Halo Infinite, hung in the balance. In this tale of ambition and redemption, we dive into the troubled journey of Halo Infinite and how its quest for greatness took an unexpected turn. After the release of Halo 5, the once loyal fanbase found themselves divided. While some praised the gameplay, others lamented the lackluster campaign and narrative that strayed from the core of the franchise. The echoes of disappointment reverberated across the gaming community, leaving 343 facing a critical crossroads. Determined to restore the franchise to its former glory, 343 Industries set their sights on Halo Infinite. The team aspired to create a grand and awe-inspiring experience that would redefine the series. The game's scope expanded exponentially, promising an open-world approach and a robust Forge mode, and a co-op campaign to bring players together like never before. But ambition can be a double-edged sword. The desire to deliver the ultimate Halo experience led to mounting pressure and a sense of urgency, driving 343 to push for an unfinished release. The delay provided precious time for improvements, promising players that the devs would be working harder to deliver the game that players were so warm-heartedly expecting. The vision of Halo Infinite was vast, but the reality of development proved complex. Technical constraints, resource allocation, and the pandemic's impact all played a role in the game's journey. Despite the initial bond between the community and Halo Infinite, the lack of promised features such as Forge and co-op campaign left players disheartened and divided. Anger grew within the player base. The incomplete game failed to deliver the experience players had been promised, leading to a mass exodus of disappointed gamers. The fallout from Halo Infinite's incomplete state was severe. Review scores plummeted, and critics lambasted the game's rushed release and unmet promises. 303's reputation took a heavy blow. As more players abandoned the game due to lack of content and unaddressed technical issues, Halo Infinite saw a steep decline in its player count. The once bustling universe of players became a mere shadow of its former self. The future of Halo Infinite grew uncertain. The roadmap that once held ambitious promises now appeared bare, raising doubts about whether 343 could ever deliver on their original vision. As players departed Halo Infinite for other games, the once thriving community dispersed. The game that was meant to be the pinnacle of the franchise now stood as a cautionary tale of rushed development and broken promises. The failure of Halo Infinite served as a stark reminder to the gaming industry. It highlighted the consequences of putting profits and deadlines over delivering a complete and satisfying experience to players. The developers at 343 faced the consequences of their actions and publicly acknowledged their mistakes. They vowed to learn from the experience, and they committed to rebuild the shattered trust with the community. As the dust settles, I highly doubt that Halo Infinite still has a chance at redemption. With dedication and commitment to addressing the game's shortcomings and making the game that they promised, 343 has a fading opportunity to win back the hearts of the players. Some players have cautiously returned, skeptical yet hopeful for a brighter future. The road to redemption is long, but the potential for Halo Infinite to reclaim its former glory remains. In contrast to this failure, we will now shift our focus to a rushed, successful, and ambitious project. Let's journey back to the past and explore an iconic example of how a rushed game, against all odds, transformed into one of the most beloved titles in the gaming community. After the monumental success of Ocarina of Time, fans were hungry for more adventures in the land of Hyrule. In response to this fervent demand, Nintendo embarked on a seemingly ambitious plan to create a direct sequel in record time, aiming to capitalize on the popularity of its predecessor. The circumstances surrounding the development of Majora's Mask were unique, as the team at Nintendo had just a fraction of the time they would typically have for a project of such magnitude. They had mere 18 months to complete the game, a timeline that was far shorter than the industry standard for such an ambitious undertaking. This accelerated development process presented a myriad of challenges. The team had to make tough decisions on what aspects of the game to prioritize and what elements to streamline to meet the tight schedule. While Ocarina of Time set the bar really high, the developers at Nintendo were determined to create a unique experience that would stand on its own, despite the constraints they faced. As development progressed, the team made an unexpected and bold choice that would forever define Majora's Mask. They centered the game's narrative around the concept of time. The game introduced a time loop mechanic, with players repeating the same 3-day cycle, adding an impending amount of doom as the moon drew nearer to the land of Termina. The time-driven gameplay introduced a unique and innovative twist to the classic Zelda formula, allowing players to experience a world that changed dramatically with each passing cycle. This daring choice proved to be a masterstroke, captivating players with its emotional depth and the interconnected stories of Termina's inhabitants. Surprisingly, the developer's constrained timeline inadvertently played a role in crafting the game's distinctive atmosphere. Despite the challenges and time constraints, Majora's Mask defied expectations and became a timeless classic that resonated deeply with players. Its emotionally charged narrative, innovative gameplay mechanics, and memorable characters solidified its place as one of the most cherished titles in the Zelda franchise. The lessons learned from Majora's Mask are invaluable, demonstrating the significance of proper planning and the potential outcomes of rushed game development. Despite its accelerated production, the game's success lies in the team's ability to make bold creative decisions and focus on creating a unique experience that would captivate players' hearts. It encourages developers to embrace innovation and creative risks, even in the face of tight schedules, recognizing that the magic of game development lies not only in the time it takes, but in the heart and soul poured into each pixel and line of code. As we navigate the future of the gaming industry, let us carry forward the lessons learned from ambitious failures, nurturing a culture of growth, innovation, and resilience. By doing so, we can shape a future where ambitious projects not only dare to dream, but also achieve greatness, delighting players and enriching the gaming world as a whole. Let the journey continue, for the pursuit of ambitious ventures has the power to shape the gaming industry for generations to come.